Hello folks, and welcome to this edition of Understanding Your Health. I want to go through some things here on the physical side and workout side. We talk a lot on this show about conditions and health conditions, and the people that have watched the show in the past have know Tom Butler, and we talk about all of these things to help you with these certain ailments, from blood sugar problems and on down the line cholesterol and energy and things like that. But when you look at it, really the foundation to health is being physically active. If you look at the body's almost like a pressure cooker. It gets so much energy every day. If you do not use it, it's kind of like keeping a lid on that pressure cooker. It keeps building up, and ultimately will explode somewhere. Be a health problem, stress of some type, you'll unload on your best friend or something. It ultimately, stress is one of the worst things as far as for the human body and the health condition. If you're stressed, you're producing cortisol, your blood pressure is through the roof, and they have found of all stressors, physical stress is one thing. When you're under physical stress, emotional stress is so radically different when you have emotional or mental stress. So one of the best things to do to be able to get rid of all of that emotional stress at the end of the day is work out. And a lot of my clients, they'll come to me at the end of the day and they'll say, Todd, I don't feel like working out today. My body I feel tired. And in reality, you're not physically tired. You've been sitting at a desk all day. How could you be physically tired? You're mentally tired, you're emotionally tired, you're drained on that level, but you're not physically tired. And the thing that I have found, and a lot of my clients, what I try to convince them of, is that the way you feel before your workout, getting ready to work out, let's say you get home after your job and for the day and you're tired, how you feel at that moment is not necessarily indicative of how that workout's going to go. A lot of the times, once you start moving and you get into that workout, within 2 or 3 sets you feel good, and the next thing you know, it's been an hour and you feel like Rocky Balboa at the end of the thing, jumping around singing a song. So it is really something that's just getting started. Jim Fixx, the marathon runner, used to have a saying that it wasn't the 26-mile marathon that he dreaded, it was putting his shoes on. And a lot of the times that is the case. It's just getting started. So my clients, what I do when they come in with that excuse, I'm tired, I don't feel like working out, I say, give me 3 sets. And all I make them do is 3 sets. At the end of that 3 sets, I say, what do you want to do? You want to go home? Or do you want to stay and complete the workout? And 99% of the time, they go, no, I'm fine now. I was just mentally getting into that. So what I challenge you to do when you come home, if you're going to work out in the afternoon or in the morning or wherever, sit down for a second, clear your mind, drink some coffee. I'll work out in the morning, I have a cup of coffee, and I think about what I'm getting ready to do, prep my mind to get ready. So it is something after work, whenever you're stressed and you come home, you need some way to unwind, take a break, relax and rest, and get your mind ready for the workout. Get some triggers, whatever it may be, stretching, music. I know that I put my earbuds in and I just listen to music. That motivates me to get ready. Whatever it takes to get you off the couch. And then again, doesn't take a major workout here. We're talking about something that takes 20 to 30 minutes a day. And I'm going to show you how to make it easy. I'm going to show you how to do it at home. Basic body weight movements, not difficult at all as far as equipment. You don't have to leave your house. You can come home, change clothes, get it done, cook in the process for that matter, and have supper on while you're doing it. So stay tuned. I want to show you how to work your upper body when we come back with just basic push-ups. The one exercise that's neglected in a lot of cases, I want to show you the perfect form on that, the right form on how to make sure you're not hurting your body with the joints, but also how you can get benefit from this very basic move called push-ups. And I'll show you that when we return. Hang tight. Welcome back to this edition of Understanding Your Health, folks. We're talking about physical activity, and I want to show you how to do a push-up. This entire show, of course, I'm giving you some tidbits on how to do proper form and that sort of thing, and then throwing my country boy logic in there from time to time. But I want to show you how to do a push-up, and there's so many mistakes that are made with just this basic form on push-ups. So I want to cover the basic form on it, and then in turn we'll take a break, and I'll come back and show you how you can modify it to suit your strength level. If you have shoulder problems, shoulder conditions, joint problems of any type, I can show you how you can work around those whenever we come back from the break. But I want to show you how to do a basic push-up here, and what I've got is what's called perfect push-ups. I like these, and I'll show you why once I get on the ground. The reason I like these, they're very cheap. They're like $15 or $20 a pair. But these things rotate with you when you're doing a push-up. And the most important aspect of a push-up is when you're coming down. If you look at your hands, Most people will do a push-up and they're here on the floor. Well, that puts an enormous amount of pressure on the wrist. You can see the angle of that. That's not a good place to be when you're doing push-ups with your hands. You see guys doing knuckle push-ups, which puts the hand and the wrist in the right position, much like this does, okay? But knuckle push-ups, the reason why people do it, it's macho kind of rocky thing, one, but also two, it puts the hand in the right position. The only problem is it puts an enormous amount of pressure on your knuckles. Most people can't do it because it hurts too bad. So that's the beauty of the perfect push-up. You have something you can grip a hold of and the ability for this thing to rotate as you come down. When you look at a push-up and when you're coming down, as you come down, your hands naturally, watch my hand as it rotates back, it wants to come here at the very bottom of that move. It doesn't want to be in this angle. And the reason why, and guys, if you want to know why you're hurting your shoulders on bench press, and why you're blowing out shoulders on bench press, or why you're blowing out shoulders doing push-ups, is simply because here to here, the hand wants to rotate, so it'll put it in more of a natural motion to press. When you're here with that hand, you're pushing with your shoulder and more your rotator cuff, and that's how you can become injured from doing this exercise. So, if you can go to the store, buy you some perfect push-ups. These things are, again, $20 at any of your retail stores, and they're really handy for this particular move. The reason that I like push-ups is it works most of the upper body. It can give you upper body tone in about every muscle. Specifically, it works push movements, which are your triceps, your shoulders, your pectorials. But it also gets in your lats. It can get into your abs, your lower back, your traps. And it's a good basic fundamental exercise for anybody to do at home to tone your upper body. So let's get on the floor here, do some exercises, and do push-ups. You want to start with about shoulder width apart on these. So I'm setting up my, not close together here, not way out here. We're getting about a shoulder width, okay? Then from here, you're going straight up and you're in the plank position. Here is the mistake that most people make on these. You will see people doing push-ups like this with their tail way up in the air. That is wrong for many reasons. Now, back is straight. Some people you will see here doing push-ups. Another wrong form, okay? Plank position, stay there. Now, when you come down, you watch this rotation here, okay? I'm starting right here, and as I come down, see my hands are rotating. Come down, proper form. Ideally, now again, you might not be able to do this the first time you do push-ups, but the ideal form is to come down, touch your nose, and back up. That is a legal push-up. So much of the time I see kids doing push-ups and they say, oh, I can do 100 push-ups. That, my friend, is not a push-up. This is 1. That is 2. Okay? That is the proper form. Now, people ask me, how many do I do? Might not be able to do 1. Might be able to do 10. I don't know. But here's the point. You want to get to that point in the set where you are hurting. And you can't hardly do it. And try to push past that point. Get as much as you can. And then you're done. Okay? That's 1 set. You will feel your chest really lighting up. You'll feel your shoulders. It works your entire upper body. You'll get up. You'll be breathing heavy. As soon as you catch that breath, and you do that, as soon as you take a deep breath and your body comes back to normal, get back down there, go again. Okay? So we're going to take a break. That's your basic form on push-ups. People who are strong enough to do it, people without restrictions. When we come back, I want to show you how you can do it if you have injuries, if you have restrictions or limitations, or just limitations of strength, and you're a novice to start off here. We'll be back to show you the different forms that you can do to alter this exercise to suit your needs. Hang tight. And we're back. We're doing push-ups the right way. How-to on push-ups here. Perfect push-ups. We showed you how to do the ideal form on these. Now, how many of you out there percentage-wise are going to be able to do a perfect push-up the first time and be able to do 10 or 15? Probably not many. Push-ups are very difficult when they're done right. We talked about the proper form. I'll show you that again here before we review the modifications to this particular exercise. There's a lot of people who cannot do a very basic push-up. And it's not your fault. It's because we've been sedentary and muscle tone starts to go and you're not strong enough to do it. Fine. you have to start somewhere. Where do you start? You don't want to avoid this exercise because you can't do it. You actually want to restrict the motion so it shortens the motion so you can become stronger so you ultimately can do it. That's basically the body adapting to the given activity. The body is an adaptation machine. It's going to adapt to stresses. If you will start off with a modification to this exercise, if you can't do a full push-up, if you'll start off with a modification of the exercise, modify your form, get stronger in that form, and then ultimately you'll be able to do the proper form. So the body, again, is an adaptation machine. It's going to adapt to stresses. If you do this and you keep going, it will adapt to that stress. If you sit on the couch eating Cheetos, it will adapt to that stress too. So let's show you a push-up here. Again, the proper form right here, okay? Back straight in a plank position, not there, not here, straight down. Fine. Okay? Now, modified. If you cannot do a normal push-up, okay? If you cannot do one that I just did and you're not strong enough to do it, start on the knees, okay? And do a modified push-up. We call these girl push-ups, and basically most girls have to do them this way. They don't have enough strength to do it here. Okay, so drop to your knees. And guys, don't be ashamed if you can't do these. Some people can't, okay? This makes it a lot easier because it takes the enormous amount of the body weight off of the movement. If you are here, all of a sudden, it puts a lot of weight on the chest and the shoulders. If you are here, it reduces it by half, if not more. So, same thing applies. Straight back, okay? Down, touch your nose, back up. And keep doing these until you start hurting. And even if you can only do 3, get up there. All right? Take a break. Catch your breath. And go again. All right? If you have limitations, and let's talk just a little bit about shoulder conditions, elbow problems. If you have injuries here and you're having a hard time doing these, with any move that you do, find in that form where it hurts. I will be training people and they say, I can't do that move because it hurts my shoulders. And I say, let's try it. And what happens is it hurts their shoulders when they get to here. Okay? That's where it starts to hurt. So what you do is you stay out of that. Just don't go into that range. Come to here. Once you start feeling that zone to where it hurts, come back out of there. Stay in this range right here. Now maybe test it a little. Come down and see where you're at. If it's still hurting, get out of it. Don't stay there. Okay? Shorten the move to fit. Now if it's up in here, let's say your shoulders hurt here, and it's only at the top of the motion, what do? Stay down here, right here. Stay away from that range of motion that hurts you. So it is truly adapting the move to suit you, your strength level, your limitations, and what you have as far as your overall body, because every body is different. Every individual is starting from a different point. If you're an advanced athlete like myself that can do 100 push-ups at a shot, or one that can't do any, this exercise will help you. You just have to slot it and make it fit the needs for you and progressively work your way up. Remember, consistency, folks, is number one. You have to stay consistent, push the body, and ultimately, even if you start off and you can't do a push-up, you will if you stay consistent and do the modifications. We'll come back and wrap this episode up. Hang tight. And we're back talking about push-ups, and of course talked about the modifications, the right way of doing this. And folks, the most important thing to do is form, is learning the right form on any exercise that you do. I'm going to be doing several shows here on proper fundamental moves. We talked about lunges, one of the videos that we shot here on proper form on lunges. This is on push-ups. I'm going to do very basic fundamental exercises off the front end to teach you the proper form. The most important thing to do is adjust the weight to the given activity, because you want to make sure that you're not moving too heavy of a weight, because when you do that and you're trying to push too much weight, you're putting it in other body parts, you're going through ligaments and tendons, which is not good, and you're going to wind up hurting yourself. So always structure that weight to where it's lighter, where you can control it off the front end. Don't be tempted, and guys, especially in their 40s, you know, they were stud athletes, and you're out there on the football field at 18, 19, you feel good. Well, you find yourself at 35 out of shape, and you think, I got to get in shape, and you go back in the gym, you're not 18 again, okay? So you start off at a totally different point in time. So what you do is, first of all, start off with much lighter weight, start off and perfect your form. Always with my clients, the first thing that I do is I spend an enormous amount of time off the front end being very nitpicky about their form, and it's simple. Not only does it make you look better in the end process as far as staying in a muscle and working that muscle and being more effective in the workout, but if you don't do it right, you're going to wind up hurting yourself. And you make all of these gains, say over 6 or 8 months, and you're doing great and everybody's saying how wonderful you look. And then all of a sudden what happens? You injure yourself because of improper form, and you're out for 6 months and you lose everything that you just built. So it's consistency is the most important part of this game, and proper form and pushing the body. It's kind of those three in a nutshell. So when we talked about push-ups being a great exercise for upper body, there is no question about that. It works shoulders, triceps, chest, some back, some abs. Your lower body's involved there, your glutes get involved in the action, but predominantly it's a chest and shoulder move. Guys, very important, over time we start losing that chest and the chest starts to sag, shoulders start to shrink, and we get more narrow and narrow. This exercise will keep you wider. What did I use here? The perfect push-ups. Again, you can get them in any location, sporting goods stores. There's knockoff versions of these. There's some very expensive versions. Make sure that they rotate. That's all that matters. You can use these, and it takes a lot of pressure off your wrist, and it allows that hand to rotate. And again, what the most important aspect there of that hand rotation is the fact that it's putting the muscle in the right spot, putting the hands in the right spot, body in the right position to be able to use the right muscles, as opposed to using rotator cuff and ultimately blow your shoulders out. So folks, the consistency of this movie, if you will stay consistent 3 days, and all of my exercise programs I try to do 3 to 4 days a week. You can work your upper body a couple of days a week, lower body a couple of days a week, and we talked about lunges. If you can do lunges twice a week, do push-ups twice a week, and do that for 6 months. I promise you, in 4 days a week, 20 minutes a day, you're looking at an hour, a little over an hour at a workout, and in a week, we're talking about an hour a week. Very little time that you're investing in it, and the returns are amazing. Give me 3 months of this. Just try push-ups, lunges for a couple of months, 4 times a week, and watch what happens. Watch your diet. We're going to be talking about diet along with the exercise program as well. Very basic fundamentals on diet coming up here on these shows. But more than anything, get off the couch. Make sure that whenever you allot time in your day and your scheduling, make sure you allot 20 minutes. Get up early, go to bed later. Are you a morning person? Do it in the morning. If you're an evening person, do it in the evening. But I'm only talking 20 minutes here. If you'll give me that, you'll notice a big difference in your look. Your clothes will fit better. Your attitude will be better. Your energy level will be better. Everything. If it was packaged in a pill, if exercise could be packaged in a pill, it would be the most widely prescribed medication on the planet. Drug companies would be seeking to patent it. It's probably the single best health-giving benefit that we know of as far as the human body, and it's called moving. And it doesn't necessarily have to involve a gym, aerobics, Taebo, or the latest craze. All it takes is just very simple fundamental moves and being consistent and pushing the body. So folks, thanks for joining us here. We'll continue these how-to videos, how to do push-ups, pretty simple stuff, but a lot that come from this move. Thanks for joining us, folks.